How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and today we have another of our episodes of the previously in DBSCG series, where we go with a week's news all in one video at the end of the week, so you can get it rather than go for a day by day. You can get all at the end of the week all together. And once again, we're back with more Fusion World informations because we've still going for Fusion World. We haven't had anything from Masters, so for this video, it's going to be mainly Fusion World. Only Fusion World because we've got nothing new from Masters. We got some dates. We got updates about the 4 Masters, the next regionals. They don't start until March, like the brand new ones, the new pricing. I don't think. I think it's March they just start with the new pricing. But until then, any other regional until March is old pricing, which is good for someone like me who wants the Vegito leader. Still has a chance to get it. But for most people, old pricing isn't gonna be that appealing. So they're probably not going to be as great as regionals, not be as packed as you can kind of had to be. And with the new one, the first one's going to be in Spain, which is quite cool. So Spain will be the first EU regional for the new series, or for the new season with the new support, or the new pricing and stuff. But we've yet to see what that is. So hopefully we find that hopefully soon, because March isn't that far away, given we're at almost at the beginning of January, almost getting halfway through it, and it'd be nice to see it beforehand. But before we get into the video and go on about the Fusion World stuff, let's drop off the fact that how you can support the channel, because we're still trying to get to 1,000 subs, still on the way there, getting closer and closer, itching closely, which is nice. And you can help by giving a like to the video if you enjoy it, or like the game or like the content, much appreciated. You can also drop a comment down below to interact. Basically, if there's anything you disagree with on, or don't agree, or something I've missed, feel free to comment down below. We'll get a bit of discussion going. I do like to read the comments and answer them as best I can. And then the main way you can help the channel is by subscribing. Keeps you updated with my videos as when they drop. And if you hit the notification bell, you can get alerts and find out when they drop, so you can then watch there and then, or know that it's available to watch later at your convenience. So with that out of the way, let's get to the video and have a look at this week's news regarding Fusion World. So it's just basically more spoilers for the first and set. We're still getting them randomly, 3 a day, like 3 different cards randomly, not like no really order to it. But we're getting closer and closer to closing out like the commons, uncommons, and rares. So we can start getting to the SRs to actually see what the big shiny cards do for each of the decks. Because there are 12 SRs. So with 8 leaders, I imagine it would be 1 SR for each leader. So each leader gets his own specific SR. And then the 4 remaining SRs will be 1 for each color, because there's 4 colors: red, blue, green, and yellow. And each of them will be a generic SR. So 3 SRs for each color, with 1 being for each of the leaders, and then the last 4 being 1 for each color generically. Now we've seen the Goku that had the alt art when they've spotted like what the alt art's kind of look like. That could be either 1 for the U7 Goku deck because it's a U7, or it could be a generic one for red because it does have a pretty generic effect. So I expect it to be something like that. But for now, we still have some commons, uncommons, and rares to go through. So for the first 2 of red, so we're going by color order, you normally do with red cards. And first we got is Krillin and Android 18. So we got a 4-drop 15k Krillin and a 2-drop 15k Android 18. Now they both got 10k combo, but their Krillin being a 4-cost 15k is very low for its power. Like if you think of it as a skillless for in 4 costs would be 30k, so it's only half the power of what a 4 cost could potentially be. But it does have an effect, so hopefully the effect outweighs the low power, because normally like Bandai are doing pretty good at balancing cards where for a cost, like basically depending on their cost, combo, effect, and power, it's like balance of what it is. Like sometimes you'll have 1 costs that have only 5k power but draw. They've only got 5k combo to compensate that is like a cantrip, so it's a very good effect. So it's balancing its power and combo. And some things that don't have any skills like skillless, and they get the maximum power to the cost and 10k combo, so a very good combo and then as powerful can be, but then no skill. And some cards that have no skills but a decent power for their cost, but then no to almost not zero combo power, like just 5k to balance it out. So even though it's a very good effect, it's not as great comboing in hand. And with the Krillin, it's got an effect of 1 attacking, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 20k power for the turn. Now that 20k is a huge amount. If we look at it, 20k you normally get that on like so far we've got the SR Goku, and that's the SR5 combo that comes with double strike as well, but has no combo power and quite a bit of power to its cost. And that's an SR, but this is a rare. that just and gets you everyone. With the Goku, it's on your own play, you minus by 20k. This one's every time it attacks, but the one problem is you can need, like, against the mirror, you can just give minus this off after it's done its one thing, so you play it. So you can give it minus by 20k, but then it's going to be removed the next turn. And 15k is quite low to attack, so even like a 2 cost like Android 18 here can still swing into it and equal its power to try and kill it by battle. So it's not too bad, good combo power. Pretty bad power to cost. Like, it should have been at least a 20k to threaten, because this doesn't even threaten awakened leaders. So that's quite a bad in that aspect. But then minus 20k is like minusing quite a bit, especially when you're attacking Psych minus up to 20k, so it's easier to kill. It's quite good because it's all about board control currently in the game. So that's great, not too bad, but I wouldn't see myself playing it. But then with the Goku leader, it does boost itself up to a 20k. So with the Goku leader from the set one, that will make it that's a little bit better because then it's threatening awakened leaders. But outside of that, he's not that great for his cost. Then we have Android 18, and this is a nice little searcher. So its effect is on play. Look at top 5 cards of your deck. Revolt to 1 Krillin and or up to 1 Android 17, and add them to your hand and place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So it's a searcher, but it's a 2, so it's a bit better than the 1 cost searchers because it costs a little bit more, so it costs 1 more, but it's got good combo power and like some like 1-drop ones, and it's got decent enough power in being a 15k. So even when, just like with Krillin, with the Goku lead from the set, it's going to become 20k, so it can actually come down, switch for either Goku, Krillin, or Android 17 for the top 5, and then threaten awakened leaders at the very least. But outside that, it can threaten unawakened leaders, but it's got very limited to what search, because currently I think we've got Android 17, a red Android 17, and Krillin from the starter deck, which are like your self-awakeners. And then currently in the set, I think we've got an Android 17, and we've got this Krillin. So only so far 4 different targets, but you can run all those at 4. So you've got 16 targets if you put them all at 4 in a deck. But the targets aren't the best, so not like is a searcher, which is always going to be good, but a searcher always depends like how good it is depending on what his targets are. And currently with Krillin and Android 17 in red, not the best. You got self awakeners, but you could just play a self awakener instead of this. So yeah, that's that. Now we move on to the other 2 red cards we got. So the other 2 red cards we got is a Whis, a 1-cost Whis, and a extra card for U6, being Strong Warriors of Universe 6. So with Whis, he is a 1-cost 10k with only 5k combo power, so kind of someone 1/1ks. They kind of either have 5k. They can have 10k 10k, 5k 5k, or 5/10 with 10/5. And for this one, it's gone from 10k being the power, where the combo being 5k. So it's got a bit better power to actually do something on board or survive a little bit easier than being combo power in hand. But its effect is activate main once per turn, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. It gets minus 5k power for the turn. So that's kind of like a power creep already of the Whis in the starter deck. So Whis in the starter deck, it's 10k combo, so it's better to combo with, but it's less power. But his effect is only when it's played, you get the minus of it by 5k. Where this is just what's on the board every turn, once per turn, you can minus it by 5k. So this can get more value over turns, whereas the Whis from the starter deck doesn't. It gets it on just the turn it's played. But this one's got less combo power if in hand, whereas the other one has decent amount of combo power when on hand. So a lot better if it sticks around. The other one's just got a bit more combo power, so it kind of depends what you want and what you prefer. But this one gets a bit more value the longer it stays around, if it stays around. Then we got Strong Warriors of Universe 6. Now this is a really good card because it's 2 things in one. So it's either a searcher, like we've got, like a 1-drop searcher, just it doesn't come with a body, and it's like a battle trick, like with some of the ones we've seen from the starter decks like that. So even though it's a cantrip or like a searcher, like a 1-drop searcher, like we got with every card it has, it can still be used as combo power even though it doesn't have a body, because its first effect, searcher power, is activate main. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with Universe 6 in a special trace and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in a random order. So the nice thing about this is it's just any Universe 6 card, so it doesn't have a cost or anything. And the nice thing about that is that in the set, the red super combo is Kaba, which is a Universe 6 card. So this allows you to search super combos, which are from the top 5, which no other card so far revealed can. So that's one benefit it's gotten there. And there's still a fair few Universe 6 cards. Loads. There's even the Khalifa KO combos to help making that a bit more consistent. So there's some other Universe 6 cards like this Frost that stops 20k's or less from attacking, things like that. And that's not too bad. Like and he's even got the Fuwa. I think it's the when those 2 cost comes down -7 by 15. So you got some really good targets, and it's just the only problem with the Universe 6 stuff is it's a shame it doesn't have a Universe 6 leader. Like if the Goku was a Universe 6 leader, like Champa maybe, that had the boost to Universe 6 cards, that could potentially work quite well. But currently for Red, for some reason, it's Goku and Beerus in the universe. Like it seems like Beerus is the one from like I don't know if what Beerus is from, but the Goku's from the Universe Survival Saga, whereas Beerus might be either from the same saga or from the Beerus movie saga, so the Battle of the Gods, which seems odd when everyone's like kind of tying together for their sagas, or kind of, or their areas or their traits. But yeah, so and then the other effect is, because remember there's a second effect, there's a battle trick, and that is activate battle opponent's turn. Choose your leader or it's one of your battle cards and gets 15k power for the battle. So similar to the Kamehameha, but then it doesn't have that beneficial effect of minusing it by 5k. It's just got it gives 15k to a leader or a battle card, but it's only used offensively, whereas Kamehameha is used offensively. But then that kind of tips it around because there's also a searcher as well. So it's got 2 functions, either a searcher or a battle trick. So I feel that's quite good in that you've got use for it. And if you're using the Kaba super combo, you've got that as a way to search super combos. So if you use it with our searches, if you use that as a super combo plus something else that has to be a target, you can't get a super combo. You know that's now shuffled the bottom of your deck in the top bottom 5. But with this, you can still grab them, which I do like that. Get a bit of depth fitting and also grab your super combos. The only difference is in this game compared to Masters, super combos are just defensive tools, so they're not really great offensively, they're just good for defense. Whereas in Masters, they're good for both. So it's kind of good to grab a super combo, but then you're being more defensive because that super combo is not going to be used for anything but defense. But that's all I've read. So those are the 4 red cards we've got this week. Hopefully, we see some new ones next week, some good ones, because we still got a fair few. I think we got like at least we're about 7 to 8 in each color so far, and at least 3 of those in each color is SR. Well, apart from red, red's only got 2 SRs to be revealed, and then we still got a fair few commons and commons, uncommons, and rares. So on to blue cards. So we got a few blue cards. We got 6 blue cards at all for this week. So we've got the first 2 being Goasu and Future Trunks. So we finally see a Future Trunks to go with that time machine. So Goasu is a searcher for Goku Black and Zamasu, so a helpful little searcher for the Goku Black lead. Because it's just like most of the cantrip searches, it's 1 cost 5k 5k. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, roll up to 1 Goku Black or up to 1 Zamasu and add it to your hand, then place the rest of the bottom in random order. So helpful get consistency, because with the Goku Black, you need to have, for its Awakened side, you need to have a Zamasu on board and bottom deck that to make the cost of the next Goku Black you play reduced by 2. So helpful to find either of those. Either find if you've got a Zamasu, find a Goku Black that you can then have the cost reduced of, or if you've got a Goku Black but you have Zamasu, find that one. Could be useful, but this is primarily for the Goku Black decks. If you're playing that, it's not going to be useful, but it could be a bit better if we get more generic good, like splashable Goku Black or Zamasu cards. Which currently we've got 2 more Goku Blacks coming out, with at least 1 being SR, and 1 more Zamasu coming up. And Zamasu looks like it's going to be a 1k, like a 1 cost, so nothing particularly big or special, but it could be something useful, like a cantrip maybe or something like that. So we'll see when we get to that, but yeah, depending on what the new free target side, it could like depend if this is more splashable or focus on that deck. And then with the Trunks, and this seems like a really good one because it's a 2 cost with 30k power, so huge, like way more than even a skillless in power, plus a 10k combo, which is really good. So stats are amazing. 2 cost 30k plus 10k combo, and its effect is when attacking. At the end of the turn, place this card at the bottom of your deck. So that kind of is kind of how, without using other cards like mine stuff, like other cards to do it, is how you put a Trunks at the bottom of your deck, so you can play it off your time machine. So it's really nice. It's not until the end of the turn, so it's not straight after the attack. It's at the end of the turn, you bottom deck it. So there's 2 little benefits of that. Is that you can attack with it, and then you go ahead and bottom deck it at the end of the turn. Then you can next turn time machine back out for 1 energy, swing with it again, and it goes back to bottom. Or if you're playing the actual Trunks deck, so you can pay 2, bring this out, swing 30k for just 2 energy, which is really good. And then bounce it back to hand for Trunks to play it out again, or make sure it's not lost then to the bottom of your deck at the end of the turn if you want to avoid doing that. So that's one nice little niche thing with that. So that's a pretty good rare and a pretty nice card considering the skills with the trunk stack. For anything else, it's still pretty decent to just 2 cost, swing 30k and then bottom deck it, and even then still play Time Machine. I can't remember if Time Machine needed the trunks leader, or if it could be generic. We'll have to look at that another time. But that is for that one. So let's have a look at the next two. So next two we have are Goku and Vegeta. So Goku is pretty nice in that it's a nice little one to help deal with the crit leaders. And you got Vegeta being a nice little one to kind of punish your opponent for leaving his little cantrips or one drops around on the board while getting some nice little pressure. So they're both pretty decent power for their cost, like not amazing but decent. You got the Goku being a 2 cost 15k and Vegeta being a 4 cost 20k, and they're both 5k combo power, so not a huge amount of combo power, but then that's kind of balancing out their skills plus power. And for Goku, he's a blocker, so he can defend the attack, but he's got a nice little permanent where during your opponent's turn, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, this card gets 10k power, so it becomes a 25k blocker if you got 7 or less cards in hand defensively, which is nice because when your opponent, because as I said, it's really good for against those critical leaders, because when they attack and go swing as 20k crit, you can just block with Goku your 25k blocker, so unless they put more cards into combo to kind of kill the blocker, they're losing cards in hand while not getting anything, and you're protecting yourself from a critical attack. So, pretty nice. These are cards that you probably have to put in your deck for against the crit leaders, but then until we find out if our events, when it comes up, are best of one with pre-side or just best of one in general, it means you don't know if we need to main deck these that we might not be useful for all matches, or if we have a sideboard we can then put some tech cards in specific matches. We'll have to wait and see when we get the all official rules at some point. And then in Vegeta, his effect is when attacking once per turn, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 1, and then place it at the bottom of your stack, then switch this card to active mode. Now, the one thing to do note is if you don't put anything to the bottom of the deck, you still switch to active mode. So you don't have to put something, because remember, you choose up to 1, so you can choose 0 or 1. So you can either choose 1 target or 0 targets, but you still will switch. So at the very least, it's a 4 cost 20k that can swing twice, which is quite nice. Get 2 swings out of it. Rather than just go all in one big swing, you can get 2 swings out of it to help clear a board or push leader. And it's really nice when your opponent puts a cantrip out or one drop that you just don't want staying there. You can swing with it, bottom deck that, so they've lost a card. You've gained in that they've lost a card, and they've lost in that they've lost a card they could use to defend against this attack or one of its attacks. And you get 2 attacks out of it, which is quite nice. You can even attack once, then leave it in active mode so it's kind of protected. So unless they got removal, it stays in active mode so they can't attack into it, or swing twice for 4 energy, which is cool. So not too bad. Nothing like crazily amazing, but yeah, just really nice, decent cards. Like, it depends if you see in the situation, they could be amazing or they could just be not useful, depending. But that's those. And the last 2 blue cards we got is the blue super combo. So we've in the set we've got 1 super combo in each color. We've seen the red one being Cabba, now we see the blue one is Yajirobe from the future. So just the same as in the star decks in all of them. They're just super combo, can only have 4 copies in a deck. They're 7 cost to deter yourself from playing. 10k combo, 15k power. Like, the power and cost just deter you from paying 7 energy for 15k. No one wants to do that. And so you want you to keep them in the hand. 10k combo power, and then the auto just meaning that if used defensively, it's a 20k combo instead of a 10. So pretty standard, nothing more to say. And then one of the new extra cards we got for blue is Black Kamehameha. So 1 cost battle trick, but just like with the Strongest Warriors Universe 6 one, it's the same as the defensive battle trick, where activate battle during your opponent's turn, choose your leader or up to one of your battle cards, gets 20k power for the battle, so that's quite good. 1 cost, like 1 energy for 20k power for the defensively is really nice. And then the beneficial effect is then look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them either at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So you can scry the top 3, which is basically just peep at the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you can either put them back on the top in any order you want, so determine which one's for top, second, third, or you can put to the bottom and determine which one's at the bottom of your deck, just above that or just above that one. So not too bad. Doesn't really gain you anything like Gallic Gun, but still it's 20k, can only be used defensively, so it's a nice little one to defend yourself, and 20k for 1 energy is nothing to scoff at. So that's all the blue cards. Let's have a look at the green ones. So just like with blue, we've got 6 green ones, so a fair bit of green, and we've got 1 for each. Well, technically 1 for each side. We've got 1 for the Android side, 1 for the Gohan side, but one's more generic than the others. So we got Android 20 being a free cost 10k with 3 green pips. So like people keep wondering about these pips, well, the little pips, little dots. But yeah, they're more just for when multicolors come out, because when you can play when we got multicolors leaders, which if we get multicolor leaders, that'll be allow us to play 2 colors in a deck, so the 2 colors are the lead. And then since you're charging cards from your hand of colors, those colors count towards your energy, and these green little dots mean that this is the kind of color, this is the number of colored energy it needs of that color. So for this, it'd be 3, and you got to tap for it 3 green energy. Whereas with Go Home 6, at least one of those 6 energy needs to be green. So you got the Android 20, free cost 10k with 10k combo, so not great stats but decent combo power. And then Gohan being a 6 cost 35k with 5k combo. So little bit of combo, big power on a 6 cost, so it's good power to its cost. And we get to effects steps. First we'll go into Android 20. So this one has an activate main where you kill this card's cost, so you got to kill it to use the effect. So not too bad. Then you look at the top 10 cards from the top of your deck and place up to 1 Dr. Giro's lab in your battle area. Place it the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So that's pretty nice. Allows you to, for the same energy as the field card, if you haven't seen the field card, be able to play this out, KO it, and try and look at the top of your cards of your deck to hit try and find Dr. Giro's lab and play it out. And then it's a target in your drop to be able to use for Chiro. So next turn or the same turn, you can do the effect of the lab, tap it, pay one green, tap it, to put this card from your an android from your drop into your energy. So it's a kind of card that helps fight like a kind of searcher, like the straight up play to fill card for androids, which is quite nice. So it gives you extra kind of almost extra copies of it, like pseudo extra copies. And then puts it straight in the area, and then it's a target for you to play out, so not too bad, helpful consistency, and at least it's a 10k combo defensively, at the very least, if you don't use it and you see the field card before this, so it's not too bad. And even then, combo off defensively, then it's fodder for the field card, so not too bad. It's a nice way to help find the field card, so rather than have to pay four copies of field card, you can pay 3 copies of field card and then 4 copies of these, to kind of have that consistency to try and find the field card, because field card, once you get one out, is not the rest aren't going to be useful. You're normally going to charge it, but if you find it defensively from like life and stuff, they're not useful cards because they have no combo power, and you've already got one out on board. So it's better to have more copies of this than the fill card. And then for Gohan, his effect is pretty simple. Just on play, add a top card of your deck to your life. So green is not only just getting the ramp color, like the ramping energy color, but it's also the life gaining color. So what seems to be like what blue is in Masters, like one part of blue is in Masters, being like ramping energy. That's in green Fusion World, so that's pretty cool. So they kind of changed the colors a bit. So for green, it's now gets life, and this is quite nice since you're going to be ramping up high. You play out a big body and heal your life. So if you get taken down like this, it's quite nice with Broly, where you have to crit yourself from 4 to 3 when you awaken, but gain a good body, like you then ramp yourself. So next turn you can then get that energy back, get life back by playing this. That's a pretty nice card, and it's nicely balanced out by it's got low combo power but a very strong effect for its high cost. So it's a pretty nice one, really nice one for green. And then for the next 2 green cards we've got the super combo. So we've seen the green super combo, so we only haven't seen the yellow one yet. So and these look to be like every single color is going to get in the set like a same super combo that you get in the star, but a different character, and the characters don't currently have that much use or interaction outside the for red with the Universe 6 card, being able to find the Universe 6 super combo. But Yamcha is just the same as the other one, same cost, power, everything, just exactly same, just it's a Yamcha and green. So nothing more to say about it. Then we got some of the, well, I think we got all the green extra cards. Now we got the other ones revealed. So we got Instant Kamehameha. It's a 0 cost, so a verse 0 cost extra card, and it's a Saiyan trait, so it's searchable from like Gohan and stuff like that. And it's activate battle. Place 1 of your energy in your drop. That's the cost, so sacking off an energy, and you get to choose your leader, a battle card, and get 15k power for battle. So that's really nice because it's for free. For free, you just sack off an energy. It only costs it sacking off the energy, which green ramps enough that you don't really care about it too much. And then you choose your leader or your battle card and gets free 15k. Like one of the problems with the battle trick, the extra card battle trick, is you have to pay an energy. So if you're tapped out of energy, like use your energy to make plays last turn, or you have too many of those little battle tricks in hand, you can't use them. They kind of could become dead in hands. I've had that before when I've had to play out something, but I've only got like 1 energy left, but 2 battle tricks in hand. They're kind of one's dead while one's useful, and that can sometimes be a little bit annoying and like unhelpful. But this one being a 0 cost, means you have to pay energy, so you don't have to worry about being tapped out that you still use it. And 15k is still a big thing. That's more than most of the battle cards that the super combos can get you. And all you have to do is just sack off an energy, which when you're tapped out, you don't care because you just sack off the energy. And most of the cards in green kind of have like a way to ramp. Like even with the 5-drop Goku we saw the other week, that can then trigger and put an energy from the top of your deck back into your energy rest, so you don't lose anything. You just get a free to 15k without losing anything. You're just changing energy for a new one. And even then with Android, this is really nice because if you've got the field card out and you've got that on the board, you can sack off an Android from your energy to use this that's rested. Then next turn you just rest the field card, tap one, put energy back into place so you haven't lost your energy, you just maintain the same amount of energy. So this is a very nice one, being a zero cost. It's just a shame that it'd be a shame if no other color gets like a zero cost extra that you can use similar to this in some way. But that's quite nice. Then we got the other two extra cards. So we got a similar to the other colors that we've seen both red and blue get a defensive battle trick. We've got that in Brother Sister combination. Would have been nicer to call this one Axel Dance, since that's the kind of like the name for their that you use in Masters and stuff for the Android 17/18's like duo attack, like their like combo attack. But it's called in this game Brother Sister combination. And then we got Big Bang attack being a little removal extra. So the Android extra is a one-cost battle trick defensively because it's got opponent's turn. You get to choose your leader or your battle card, and it gets 20k power for the battle. And then this one's beneficial effect, like the it's a little bit different to the Black Kamehameha. This one is then if you have 15 or more cards in your drop, add up to one card with a cost of 3 or more from your drop to your energy and rest mode. So another way to defend yourself defensively, 20k, which is still nothing to scoff at. It's pretty good, 1 energy for 20k. And then if you got enough, you got 15 or more cards in your drop, you get the ramp. So that might be a little bit difficult, considering you're like ramping cards because of your energy and then playing things out. But if you get to that point in the late game, then you can get that extra ramp. So it'll be probably difficult to pull off, but it is possible. Then we have Big Bang Attack. So this is a 2 cost with a nice little permanent similar to how we got the Final Flash. Like both of Vegeta's attacks, both have like a little like a power cost reduction in their permanents. Where for this one goes in theme with green, where if you have 6 or more energy, you reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 1. So in green you can make this 1 cost very easily. And its effect is at main, place one card, one of your energy in your drop. So second off energy is the cost. You get to choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 5 or less and KO it. So that's quite cool. Similar to both red and green have like the same kind of thing, like two cards from Vegeta in different colors. One of his attacks is Big Bang and Final Flash. Two of his like biggest attacks that both have a power reduction based on their skill. Like for blue, it's 7 or less cards in hand. Green having 6 or more energy. And both have a cost in either discarding a card or sacking energy to both either KO or bottom deck a battle card at a cost of 5 or less. It's a very good removal, very nice, and yeah, sacking off energy is not a problem since you're going to be ramping a lot and don't need to worry about like with the interactions with the Insta Kamehameha. Sacking off an energy that you can then just get back quite easily is not a problem, especially if you're getting some nice removal for quite cheap as well. So that is all the green cards. Then we go to yellow. Yellow got the same with red, only a few cards being the being 4 cards. So we got some Ginyu cards. We've got some more cards with the Ginyu deck. I'm still waiting for all the Ginyu cards to be revealed so I can actually have a look at Ginyu, see like kind of like do a bit of testing, work out like how viable it's gonna be, if it could be a pet competitive deck or just a fun deck. And we got another Ginyu, so we still got 1 Ginyu left, being the SR, which I'm assuming is the SR for the Ginyu deck, one of the SRs. And this one we got a free cost 20k, and we got Jace as well, so we finally get to see Jace. And given the card numbers, there might be another Jace maybe, or this could be only Jace, but I don't think there will be because it's already a 1 cost 15k, and it's the card we're missing is before this. So this cantrip Jace, or a one that's weaker and similar, like same cost. I don't think we're getting another Jace, but we got Ginyu being a free cost 20k. It's not too bad power with the combo, and it's with bad power to its cost, it's a 10k combo. And then Jace being a 1 cost 15k and 5k, which not the greatest combo, but still some combo power and pretty good power for cost when we get that skillless. And Ginyu's got a pretty cool effect where on play, you add up to 1 extra with Ginyu Force and special traits from your drop to your hand. So you get to grab a Ginyu Force extra. And so far, the only targets we've got for Ginyu Force extra are Body Change, which is tapping one of your battle cards to resign one of your 4 cost less battle cards for 1 energy, or Crushable, which is draw 1 card, draw 1 card and switch one of your opponent's battle cards to rest mode, which Crushable is really nice, just to put things in the rest mode so you can attack into them. So you put your opponent's little things or things they're leaving in active mode so you can't attack them into rest, so you can attack into them, which is pretty good early game to like deny your opponent being awakened by not attacking into the lead, but pressing something on their board, so you can attack into it, get your draw, unless you're playing a grit leader, of course, and then going ahead and drawing a card and getting advantage without gaining more advantage than your opponent, basically in the grind out. So it's pretty good targets. Free cost 20k is still decent, but then with the whole overall thing of Ginyu being its awakened side effect, being tap free and discard 2 cards to restand all your Ginyu force, I would have thought it'd be a bit cheaper. Even if the combo power is going to be like being a 2 cost 20k with a 5k combo might have been a bit better, but yeah, it's not too bad because getting it back for value because you're gaining a card for free and basically gaining a card on board and then getting something back, which could even gain you more cards like Crashable, which is cool. And then we got Jace, so this looks be pretty cool, bit aggressive, like 1 cost 15k is on par, threatens unawaken lead, but then doesn't unawaken. But its effect changes that because it's got a permanent during your turn. If you have a total of 3 or more cards with Ginyu Force and special traits among your leader and battle cards, it's going to get 5k power. So that basically means if you're playing the Ginyu lead, if you have the Ginyu lead, this card, and another card on board, that's Ginyu Force, it's a 20k for 1 energy, which is pretty good. And especially if you spam out a few of these on board, that's just, if you get 2 of these on board, they both then, with the Ginyu lead, boost themselves to by 5k, so you then get 2 energy, 2 20k swings to threaten your opponent's Waken lead. So that's quite nice. Like, I do like that. Just wish we get more Ginyu Force, we want more Ginyu Force to make full use of the leads effect and have more options in the game as well. So we're still missing Raccoon, but so far these reveals for Ginyu are pretty nice. Just want to see all the cards so I can see how Ginyu's going to be. But then for the other 2 cards for yellow, we've got some for the other side of it, being the Caller. So we got some more of his Caller's Armor Squadron, and even extra card for him beyond We Are Caller's Armor Squadron. So the first one we got is the last of the 3 of his squadron, being Nez, and he's pretty good for its skills. He's a 2 cost with 20k power and take a combo, so pretty nice. And blocker, and an on-play that makes you take a card from your left to your hand. So this is exactly the same as what Zarbon does, with 2 minor differences, being Zarbon only has 5k combo, whereas this is 10k combo, so better in the combo power. So the stats for Nez is better than Zarbon. The only part of the other difference is that Zarbon's on play to take a life is optional, so you can take up to 1 card from your left to add to your hand, whereas Nez you have to, is add 1 card from your left to your hand. So Nez, when you play it, you have to take a card from life, so if you're low on life, you don't want to, if you play this, you have to take a life. Whereas Zarbon, you don't have to, but it's got less combat power. So you kind of have like little small differences, but it depends on what you prefer. If you prefer to have the better combo power but have to take a life when you play it, which I feel outweighs Zarbon, or if you want Zarbon where it's less combo power but you can play it without needing to take life. It depends on the deck you're playing and what you prefer. I preferably like Nez because the combo power is better, but Zarbon could be better for the later game if you do need to play blockers. Then we have We Are Caller's Armor Squadron. So this is basically like an upstart goblin for for yellow, but it's preferably better in the Caller deck because the activate main is 1 energy. And activate main, if you have 2 or more Caller and or cards with Caller's Armor Squadron in their special traits among your leader and battle cards, you draw 1 and take up to 1 energy. Switch 1 of your energy to active mode. So essentially, you just upstart goblin, just filter from your deck. So it means you've got 4 cards in your deck that just replace themselves in energy and hand by drawing a card and untap an energy after use. So you pay 1 and lose a card from hand to then draw 1 and untap the energy. So you're just filtering through, and it's easier to pull off in Caller because once again, if it is looking for 2 or more Caller and all cards with Armor Squadron. So having Caller and it's in your leader and battle cards. So having the Caller leader means you already got 1 there, so you have to play another one. So it means with this, in Caller deck, you have to just play 1 of your Armor Squadron or Caller cards, and then be able to use this and essentially use it free to basically use it to help filter for your deck. Against any other thing, you have to then play out 2 Armor Squadron or 2 Caller or a combination of both, 1 Caller, 1 Armor Squadron, to then be able to use this. So this is preferably better in Caller, but it can be used outside of it depending on if we get any more of them. Because currently with the Armor Squadron, they're all 2 costs. We got Door, Salza, and Nez. They're all 2 costs, with Nez being a 20k, with the other ones being 15k, and they all have effects. Well, the other 2, Salza is a crit one, so it could be useful there. Have that crit guy and then multiple of them, and then use this for free, essentially. And then Door is just restanding an Armor Squadron, so Door works with the other one. It has to be used in tandem with the other ones. so either Nez or Salza. And then Nez is just a handy dandy 20k blocker for 2 energy. So same cost, just different effects, and depends if you're worth running against anything that's not Caller. You have to play multiple, at least 2 of these out and have them stay just to use this, which I don't think is worth it outside of Caller. Because even then, Caller so far, we're waiting for his SR, but it looks to be only 2 cards for Caller in the set, and one is a free cost skillless, 25k, which isn't the best. But then we saw the SR.C, so we can see if that cheats out some of his squadron or what it does once we see it. But that's all the cards for the set. So that's all the cards we've had revealed this week. But we do have one other thing that Banner did reveal that's not the cards for the set, and that is the energy markers. So we get to look and see what the energy markers look like, because there is a pack that you can get, which I think is going to be for your locals. So it might be for when you 10 locals and stuff like that, similar to TBs, might be an extra pack you can get. And it allows you to get different energy markers. And a nice thing about this is it shows 12 different markers, so it's a pack where you get 2 cards per pack and 20 different types, and the type you can get is a different energy marker depending on the leader from the leader you want. So there's one for each of the starter deck leads, and also one for the main deck leads. So you got the 4 for the starter deck leads, so one a Goku, Vegeta, Broly, and Frieza marker, and then one for the 8 leaders in the set. And every pack is 2, so you've got 2 chances for every pack to get the one you want. Because I'm personally going to be wanting the Ginyu one, because it's definitely going to be Ginyu. And then I'm going to be wanting whatever one I play from my competitive deck, like Trunks, Beerus, or anything like that. And it's quite nice because they're the same, because the background's the same color as the leader, but then it's got like the different energy around it and like the barrier around it and stuff like that. So this is a nice little thing to do for energy. Like it could be similar to how One Piece is with Don, but then in One Piece you get 10 tons, so it makes it worth getting multiple of them. Where just you sort one, so after you got the one you want, you're not really be using many. So this could be cool. Not sure it could be as great as Don in One Piece, but it's still quite nice to get. And then just it'd be nice to know if they're going to be shiny or not. If you can get shiny or a non-foil, that'd be nice. But they do look really nice. Like yeah, once again, personally, I'm gonna get the Ginyu one because I just love Ginyu, and then the other ones I'm gonna get depending on whatever decks I run. But let me know what you feel. Do you feel these are like quite nice looking? If they're pointless, what do you feel about these? I reckon they're quite nice. And if they're like extra things you can get for locals and stuff like that, like we just know we can get some at events. So I'm not sure if it's going to be for official big events or just for locals or anything like that, or locals and big events. It'd be nice to know at some point. But that's all the news we got for this week. So we've seen a look at a fair few more cards from the set. We'll see a lot more next week. Hopefully after next week we start getting into SRs. But I think next week we get more rares, uncommons, and commons to finish off the last of those. And then we'll go on to hopefully the week after being the SRs, and maybe even some more arts maybe after or the same week. So that's it from me today. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.